This is the Loving Life Podcast, coming from a parent's perspective where we take a look at the past, the present, and discuss what the future has in store for all of us. Welcome to the Loving Life Podcast.
All right, welcome to the podcast. This is Season 2, episode number 27. You have been missing in action for a couple. My wife, Sandra, finally back and joining in on the Loving Life podcast. I got through it.
Yeah.
I did miss you.
You had some great guests on.
Yeah, I had producer Abe last week. That was pretty cool. We talked about men's health.
That's awesome.
That was awesome. And then I did an interview with Terry Nunn from Berlin.
Then you had 30-10 weight loss.
30-10 weight loss. Oh, my goodness. That one was really super cool with Dr. Nelson and Cassie. So today, trying to come up with topics, and I'm thinking, you know what? You've got this countdown working on your cell phone right now.
Yeah, I do.
We have a countdown to our vacation. So I came across these tips to save money for booking your vacation, which I thought was pretty interesting. You know, so school's almost over. It means summer vacations are happening. People are planning their summer vacations. Do you go anywhere? Do you stay here? Do you do staycations? Do you go away for vacations? How can you save money on your summer vacation? So I found these 5 tips.
Nice.
So we're headed out of state.
Yes.
But we're going to be in the country.
Yes, this year.
Here's what I thought was pretty interesting. I was doing something on my Facebook Live, and 64% of Americans have never been out of the country. Does that seem high to you?
No,
64%.
It's expensive to travel out of the country.
Right. But still, I mean, like, they just haven't gone out of the country.
Is that a low considering previous years? Are people more scared to travel?
I'm not sure. Maybe that might be some of it. But I mean, it's not like you got to go to Iran.
No, but there's a lot more expense when you're traveling outside the country, from passports. I mean, it
all adds up.
Yeah.
All right, so I found the 5 ways to save money booking your summer vacations or planning your summer vacations, and one of them was to book your plane tickets now. Like, a lot of people wait to book their tickets.
Because you're always hoping for that Tuesday or Monday email from Southwest Airlines to see what the best deals are for the week.
Right.
You know, and so, I subscribe to every airline, every travel website you can think of to see what the alerts are.
Right. I must say that Sandra does do a lot of the planning as far as the booking and watching things, and she's on top. I mean, constantly at night when I'm trying to sleep, and you get the glow of the laptop.
Yeah. I'm a travel agent. You know what? That's a good second job for me.
It could be.
Yeah, but people don't need travel agents as much anymore.
Right.
Everyone does their own thing now on the computer.
Because you can do almost anything.
Yeah. You just have to have patience, I think.
Yeah, you have to have patience, and I think you just have to do a lot of research. You have to be willing to put the time in. And a lot of people don't want to put the time in.
Yeah. I have a special notebook that I'll write all my deals down, what I'm finding, and websites, and I bookmark stuff, but I also have a special travel notebook that I put everything in.
Yeah, and I see that notebook. It's thick. I like it. All right, so that was number 1, is to book your plane tickets now. Book them a few months in advance if you can. Number 2 was be flexible.
Oh, I'm not flexible. For me, it's we're going a certain time. This goes kind of back to the plane ticket thing. Be very careful when you see these deals, especially if you're traveling like American Airlines and all. Because they'll say it's the basic ticket, which you don't get to pick your seats, or it'll pick it for you.
Right.
And sometimes if you're traveling with families or a larger group, you're not sitting together. To me, it's worth it to pay that extra to be able to pick your own seats and know you and your family are going to be together.
Right.
I don't know.
See, I'm odd man out every time because there are 3 across, and then there's 3 across the other side.
And you're the only male. You don't want me or our daughter sitting next to some pedophile or crazy guy on the plane. So let you sit next to the crazy guy on the plane.
Okay. Right. I see how I'm finding out how this works. I'm learning things while we do this. But being flexible on your dates and your destinations it gives you a way better chance to get a good
that.
deal on plane tickets
Yeah,
and
it
hotels because the more flexible you are on your dates, the chances are the hotel rooms might be open if you're doing that, or your Airbnb or whatever it is that you're doing. So that's a good way to be flexible. Number 3 was to try to take your trip in early June or late August, because July is like when everybody goes. And things are booked up, and they just it's supply and demand. In July, when everybody's out, you're paying top dollar.
Yeah, but again,
late August is hard too.
Your kids are back in school by that time.
Right.
And if you're a parent who cares about their kids' education, you hate for them to miss school.
Sure.
And for people who are just traveling, who are single or just doing the couples thing, I think that's perfect. I think being flexible like that. But when you have kids, it's really hard to go during those times where the travel is cheap.
Right. I agree with you there. Number 4 was to travel on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday, because those are generally the cheapest days to fly, while Friday and Sunday are usually the most expensive.
We're actually flying on a Sunday.
Was it more expensive?
I kept playing around with the dates, and it came out to, it was okay. It came out.
So it's probably a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, and we come back on a Saturday, so it evens itself out.
Okay, yeah. Well, that'll work. And plus we're doing is it Airbnb that we're doing, or?
Yeah, I believe so.
I think it's Airbnb. And this is going to be our first time doing an Airbnb, because we've never done this before. The ones that we've done in the past, we've done a hotel thing in Hawaii, but then we've done sandals or beaches, and then we did Hard Rock and Punta Cana. So those were all inclusive, and those are a little bit different. So we went a different route this time for vacation and just did an Airbnb. And I'm excited because where we're going, I vacationed back 30 years ago. We used to vacation in, we're going to Fort Myers Beach in Florida, and then we're going to hit up Sanibel where all the shelling is. And I used to vacation there every Christmas, New Year's. So this is our first time, my first time, your first time there, my first time. Well, you went.
And I've been to Fort Myers.
You
before.
Went to for a convention.
Business though.
So it was business. But I did vacation there, and it was awesome. And I'm so excited to see it again. I probably won't recognize it, but then again, maybe I will because it's Fort Myers.
It's funny. Growing up on the West Coast, I still like the beaches in the Southeast.
Yeah.
There's something about the beaches, the Florida side,
right?
The Gulf side is the Gulf side as well. But I mean, even when we were in Miami, beaches were beautiful. But I worry about sharks.
Okay.
There's sharks in those waters. Not that there's not sharks in the West Coast, but you hear more about the sharks on the East Coast.
Right.
I don't know, but I do love the waters.
Well, I ain't going that deep, okay?
No, I'm going
ankle deep.
There.
I
don't go past this because
okay.
If I can't see my feet, no thank you.
All right. I'm with you. All right, so number 5 in the top 5 tips to save money on summer vacations was to check out the Southern Hemisphere. Now, this is something a little bit different. So we're talking about summer vacations, right? But this is like postponing your summer vacation to winter and actually going to what they say here is going to Australia or Argentina.
Because it's summer there.
Right.
Right.
So go enjoy summer somewhere else. And try something a little bit different. And booking it now saves you probably a lot of money on airfare and then of hotel costs and all that kind of thing too. So when it's summer there, they're like going, yeah, peace out. We're going to go experience something else, right?
Yeah.
So that was another thing to check out here. So as far as vacations go, I think planning ahead, knowing what you want to do, researching where you want to go.
Go to the websites. Oh,
what's your favorite website to go to?
There's a few that I like going to, but Airfare Watchdog is a good one.
Yeah.
I like going to, believe it or not, Costco.
Okay.
Costco is good.
Yeah. We did that once for Disney World.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
It was different.
I love Costco. Shouts out to Costco. But the travel, again, they'll have Disney packages, which are great with the tickets, but the access to the hotels that you want to stay at, they are one-offs. They are Disney property, but they aren't a Disney hotel,
right?
Like the Dolphin Hotel and stuff like that. Not to say, but they were still good hotels.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to spend $8,000 to take my family or $7,000 to take the whole family to Disney World, I want to stay on the property.
Yeah,
so,
I want Snow White knocking on my door.
And you can find some really good deals right now with Disney. But yes, Snow White. But the one thing too is if you're going to spend that money and you're going to Disney World, and you're like, oh wow, this hotel on the Disney property, it's really cheap. Remember, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
And we thought, okay, wow, we have a great package with the Caribbean Resort. Well, I hate that I can take a dump and see the TV in the front door at the same time.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, and we switched. We
Yeah, we
switched
did.
hotels. I was that annoyed.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful and everyone and their mother, because it's the cheaper part of the resort, stays there.
Yeah.
So it takes almost an hour to get on the bus to get to. Because everyone's piling on. So you've got to take those things into consideration.
Right.
If you're patient and you don't mind because you're saving money, more power to you.
And and I get that. And there's people who are like, you know what? I don't care what hotel room I stay in. I just want to do this and that. And that's totally cool. I mean, well, but I don't think it's because you're a diva. I just think it's you're a hotel snob and you just want the experience to be what you want it to be. And if you're willing to pay that, go for it. If that's not important to you, where you're putting your head at night, then don't stay at the expensive Disneyland hotel or Disney World hotel.
Like I said, whatever your experience is and what you wanted,
the contemporary is what I was thinking.
The contemporary, for me, it's a personal preference. I'm not saying you should do that. I'm just saying from my experience, that's what it was.
Right.
But hey, if you want to, in the end, you're going to be at the happiest place on earth. So
how did we get to talking about Disney vacations?
Because we want to go to Disney next.
I know that's the next Disney World.
Next.
Yes, absolutely. So, that's a whole nother topic. It's a whole nother topic.
And another thing I have to add really quick too, when you know you're going to another destination like Fort Myers, we're going. I go to social media. I'll type in city of Fort Myers. I'll type in anything Fort Myers, and everything will come up on the website on your social media.
Right.
And so now in my feed on
These are good
Facebook,
things to do.
The latest things that are going on in Fort Myers. Oh, don't forget what's happening in June or July. So it's like I'm so excited because I know what's going on, and it's like, okay, wow, we can do a lot of stuff with the kids, and so it's good to keep in the know of what's going on too.
Sure.
And the bug problem if there's mosquitoes, because I'm all about bugs.
Well, yeah, I checked the weather forecast. We're not leaving for another month or so, right? So I checked the weather forecast, and it was in the 90s, 83% humidity. Oh my God! Thank goodness our Airbnb is right on the beach. I'm going to be in the ocean constantly.
When the humidity in Florida, I got to tell you, when we were at Disney World, we'd walk through the stores just to in the Epcot just to get AC. Oh my
gosh!
Because it was miserable.
Oh my
in the middle
gosh!
Of the summer.
Yeah, it was a little crazy. So keep all that stuff in mind. So if you're planning your vacation, hopefully we helped you out with some of these tips. Anything else to add, Sandra? Save money and pay cash. No, I'm not BSing about that. If you can save money and pay cash,
most people can't when it comes to dream vacations.
Yeah, no, I understand, but then maybe you take a vacation every other year. You know what I mean?
You don't want to come back and be paying off the vacation for another 10 years.
And make sure you clean the house before you leave so that when you come back, the house is clean. No, seriously, because that just makes you feel even better. So there you go. Well, thanks for being back.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm glad you were here. Thanks for listening to the Loving Life podcast. Remember, the podcast comes out every week. Subscribe and then click notifications because that'll let you know that a new podcast is up. I had somebody on the Facebook Live today say, where can I get the podcast? And I'm like, it's on iTunes, the radio.com app. But click notifications to let you know that the podcast is coming up. And this podcast has been videotaped. So
I gotta know these things before I come in. I was
you
not
look
prepared.
amazing.
I was not. This
Oh
is
my
like
goodness.
after work face.
You look
no
amazing.
Blush.
She looks awesome.
I need Oscar here.
Oh my goodness. We're going to be posting this up as well on YouTube and the other social media platforms, so be watching out for that, okay? You can follow me on social media, Facebook and Twitter. It's at CharlieOnAir1, and most importantly, thanks for your ears. Until next week, this has been the Loving Life Podcast.